Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Giz Wiz is brought to you by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
It's time for the Giz Wiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1495, recorded Thursday, November 20th, 2014. So Droid, very, very iPhone. This episode of the Giz Wiz is brought to you by Audible.com. To download a free audiobook of your choice, go to audible.com/GizWiz.
And now, get ready for Dick.
On this episode of the Giz Wiz, have you ever wanted to 3D print your food? Now you can. Coming up next.
It's the same dumb show with Dickie D and OMGchad on Twit TV. It's time for the Giz Wiz because gadgets are his business. They've got a gizmo sickness, geek disease. Under pathology, rows and rows of USBs, glowing LEDs. Get ready for the Giz Wiz now.
I hope that you are ready for the Giz Wiz, because here he is, the Giz Wiz himself, Dickie D.
Chad, how are you, pal?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing super too, thank you.
Awesome. Man, this has been a fun week of gadgets. Like, it's the season is now for fun, cool gadgets coming up.
Why? Is this some special season?
Yeah, it's close to Thanksgiving, you know, the time of giving. Where you take thanks for all the gadgets in your life, right? Is that right? I mean, that's why they do it now, right? Okay, good. Yeah, just want to confirm that. What have you been up to this last week?
Oh, well, that is the lead-in I asked for. You know, I'm just looking at this email, and it originally involved you. I went on a tour of Google in New York City.
Oh, so cool.
But I wanted to get the name of the guy who set it up, who's Mark Renne, R-E-N-N-E. But I realized that the email says, "Hi, Chad and Dick. If you're ever in the Mountain View, California area, I'd be happy to take you on a personal tour and a visit to the Google store."
Yeah, this was the week after we had showed off that website that had everything in the Google store.
Oh,
do you remember
okay.
that? And he said, yeah, of course we'll give you a tour. And I ignored the email.
Well, I emailed back and said, I'd love a tour, but I'm in New York City. And he said, well, I will get John Allen in New York City to take you on a tour, which he did yesterday. And you haven't been to Google at all?
Never. And that's even what I said is I have never been to, me and Jeff oh, he's like, I've been there. I don't need to go. Okay, I've seen the store. I bought it. I guess I'll just go alone then.
It's worth going.
Is it?
Every floor that I went to has a different theme. Like one floor was summer, winter, fall, spring. And as you walk through, the walls and the flowers and the paintings changed as the seasons changed. Another floor was the New York City floor, where the restaurants, all the signage was written like they write the subway signs. It had subway tile on the walls. Wow. They have, I think it's 8 or 9 restaurants. It's cafeteria style. Everything is free.
Of course.
And then they have food stops like every 30 feet.
So just in case you get hungry while thinking of the code that you have to write, you can stop.
Exactly. And then everybody just has a tiny little desk and maybe one drawer. But all through the building, there's a thing called the Beehive, a thing you can climb into with your computer and just rest. You know, I just have a few pictures. I have 7 pictures that I shot. So every eating area has a theme. So this was the Lego eating area. So there's Google and Lego blocks. The seats are Lego blocks. The containers for the food.
Oh my gosh.
Are Lego. I mean, the whole thing is just amazing.
Wow.
And then just show me whatever is next, Josh, and I can fill it in as we go. All right, so this is John Allen, who took us on the tour. And on the New York City subway floor, these are mini conference rooms, each one shaped like a little subway car.
That is too cool.
Is that neat? And then if I had my clicker, I would go to. Now I
There you
can't
are.
remember if this was the salad bar, or I think
Man,
it
you
was,
are right. They kind of went overboard with the food.
I think this is the Four Seasons floor, and this is walking into spring. The whole corridor is all living plants, and then one part of the library has real books. The other part of the library, you just spin those books. It's all digital.
Yeah, you can
and
see
then
the
you
little
just hold your
X
iPad.
over it. It's like it's a weird digital sort of
Yes.
bookshelf.
And then you pick your book, and then you put your iPad or whatever up against the Q code thing there, and you download the book. Now, I was not allowed in, but I understand that there's a section of real books that actually opens, and there are hidden compartments back there for secret meetings. It's the whole place. It's like a giant Disney World.
Wow.
This is the jungle-themed restaurant.
Wow.
The only thing about that is you have to swing in on a vine. So
It's like the Magic Kingdom. You can't just walk in there. You have to take either a train or a boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know the ages of everybody who works there. If you literally had to swing in there on a vine, I don't think there was any person working there that wouldn't be fully capable of doing that.
Everyone
And
was
was
like
that-
college age, graduate level. Like
Yes,
that is
yes.
funny.
I know. Was that the last picture, Josh? I don't even remember.
Yeah, that was
It
the last
was?
one
Okay.
there.
That is
Yeah.
so cool. That has
It was
really motivated me to finally respond to that email
I think you should.
and set up
I
my
think you-
tour.
Yeah.
That is way neat.
It's really very different.
That is cool. We had a visitor to Twit this last Sunday. Remind me, what was his name, Jeff? Charbax is not his real name, his username. And basically, we know him as the guy who goes to China and picks up the knockoff stuff and brings it back. And we laugh and laugh and laugh at how either close or sort of, it's like there's hilarity in trying really hard but not achieving. And
Do you have one?
yeah, I want you to tell me one of these iPhones is fake and one of them is real. Okay, one of them is an actual Apple iPhone.
Okay.
The other one is a fake Apple iPhone. Okay, they both.
All right.
They both.
I'm going to guess that the one.
And you're right. Right before you guess, I have an actual Apple. This is a genuine Apple case, so we can
Okay.
put both phones in to see maybe does one not quite fit perfectly. You know, that's one phone in the case.
Wow.
Pretty snug, I'd say. And I've put a lot of phones in these
You
cases.
see, I'm at a slight disadvantage not ever having an
iPhone.
Are these knockoffs of the iPhone 6?
iPhone 6 Plus.
Wow.
Fact, yes. Yes.
I'm going to go that the white one is the knockoff.
You are correct. The black one is my phone that I've always had. This is the white one. I should have shown you the.
You know the black one is yours,
The black one's mine
and is a real one.
and is real.
But Chad, iPhone is not iPhone. I think you got taken.
Yeah. So I'm really surprised at just based off of the only difference from it being in my hand that I can really tell that it's fake is it's a little bit lighter. And for some reason, the material of the aluminum that they used is off.
Right.
I could just feel with my fingers. He was saying that what you would do is you would go buy this phone, and then you take it around the corner, and they would etch in the logo and stuff around the back afterwards.
So they would sell it as just a phone.
It's just a phone.
And then you pay. Did he say what he paid for it?
$111 for this.
Wow,
And what's
okay.
funny is you can actually see there's a little tiny issue with that logo right there. That
Right.
is a metal filing that's still attached after they grounded
Wow.
out the mirror, sort of Apple mirror.
Well, I think they put that there on purpose, so
the
if they
back.
get sued, they go, our logo is totally different. The real
Nuh-uh.
logo does not have metal filings.
See that metal filing right there? Now, it's funny. It doesn't actually have Touch ID. It doesn't have a real fingerprint sensor in here, but you can go through all of the steps that you would to enable the fingerprint sensor. So you go in here, you confirm your password, which we've set up as 1, 2,
Oh
3,
my
4. We could turn it off, we could turn it on, and when you oh, here, how do you change fingerprint?
So they actually lifted the software.
Now lift your finger. Now put on your finger. It's
Oh,
Android.
that's very funny.
This is Android, which is funny. Now, it's not actually, it doesn't have a fingerprint reader in here, but it does have a sensor to tell if your thumb is on it or not, which is really funny. Some of the funniest parts are the iBook store. Oh, sorry, this is the store. It's the Google Play store in here, which is pretty funny.
Oh, that.
If you click into the App Store, it's the Google Store, which is really funny.
That's very
the
funny.
iBooks. This looks like exactly like the app, and it should, because all that it is a screenshot of the actual app.
It's a picture.
It doesn't actually do anything. There are some apps that look and feel very real. This is the Dialer app, where you could have your favorites.
Let me ask you this: does it actually work as a phone?
Yeah, I think it does.
Oh, okay, it
We
does
don't
work,
have a
okay.
SIM card in here, so
Okay.
I haven't placed a phone call on it, but it is in fact a real phone.
Wow.
The same thing with the iHealth. It's just it's just a screenshot. But things like the clock actually work. It could do start a timer and stopwatch. Same thing with the calculator, which was I think on this. There you are. The calculator actually works. 5 + 5 = 10. Well, look at that. It's absolutely right. If we turn it on its side, it does nothing. It does have a few of the notification things, like, well, maybe it does. Come on, you
It's
can
not quite as.
There we go. Not quite as responsive as you would expect.
And the calculator has keys for forward, reverse, and stop music.
Right. And the calculator will also ask for your credit card number. Interesting. One of my favorite parts was, where was it? If I went into settings here and I started to type in our Wi-Fi information, this is what the Android Wi-Fi asking screen is, where you can show the password.
Oh, that is so funny.
And this keyboard is an Android keyboard, which is pretty funny as well. Another thing
They should call it an iDroid.
They should. They should. Yeah, iDroid. There you go. And you have your kind of your normal stuff with the notifications. But what's funny is this background that is sort of like blurred out stays no matter what app you're in. It's the same background, and it has a really weird scrolling animation. Also, there's a little Android over there at the web page. Anyway, it's pretty funny, I gotta say. I'm really impressed with how well it feels like an actual iPhone. The screen quality also is not as good.
Oh, okay.
And it also does, there's this weird parallax. You can sort of see, like with this star next to the health icon, that the background will shift just like an iPhone would. It has a weird parallax effect. I haven't even checked out the camera. Wonder what the camera's like. Oh, that is a crummy camera. Wow, that is a bad camera.
I'm amazed that they don't have like 5 photos in there already, and that's all you can use.
It's not a screenshot of what a camera app looks like. Yeah. So anyway, it's a knockoff, $111 for the knockoff iPhone. Pretty funny little device.
Some PC guy is saying that an iPhone in China cost $1,000.
Yeah, a real one.
A real one, yeah.
It's a very big status symbol to get a a very, very, very iPhone, a very new, real iPhone, very, very iPhone, a very, very iPhone.
Very, very iPhone.
To get a very,
I
very
thought it was
iPhone.
very, very Droid myself. That was so Droid.
It was so Droid. I was hoping so Droid and very, very iPhone for this episode, but I don't know if I can pull it off. Anyway, that was one of the little gadgets that happened to cross
That's
our
pretty
paths
neat. That is pretty neat.
this week. I thought it was. Oh, and funny, it has a lightning cable as well. The iPhone's charged with a different type of cable than any other phone, and so it comes with this lightning cable, which we've taped up red, so I don't accidentally assume that it is a lightning cable. What's funny is still this cable is better than micro USB in my opinion because you can flip it all around. It doesn't have to be in any direction.
Okay. So it looks like the new iPhone cable, but it only works on the knockoff phone.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to use that cable on any other phone. At least we assume there's not much documentation on this phone.
Even the knockoff phones from Apple are proprietary. Even the knockoffs are.
Yep.
Very funny.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
very funny.
So that is
You
our.
have to shop on Amazon for knockoff cables, please.
I would like a fake iPhone lightning cable that works specifically with the fake iPhone, please. That'd be great.
Very funny.
Yeah, that was about it. That happened this week in my life and yours. That was an exciting week.
It was exciting. Very good. Yes.
Exciting. So let's get on to the gadgets.
Well, I'm doing my final 3 gadgets from the Gadget show at the Javits a couple of weeks ago. And the first one, this almost equals my favorite bizarre gadget of probably 15 years ago at CES. And I believe it was called the iSmell. This was a device that hooked up to your computer that in theory TV shows would be encrypted so that when they were making coffee, this device wired to your computer would have cartridges like printer cartridges, except they were different aromas.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I mean, from the minute we saw it, we knew this is probably not gonna. It's not even gonna make it outside the convention center, let alone into the.
Oh my God! I'm imagining the SNL skit where they said, you know, we hope that you're using your iAroma device.
Yes, exactly.
Time for a medley of fart jokes.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Oh my God!
But anyway, so this, I'm walking around and I see a sign that says the 3D fruit printer. So I said to the woman, I'm assuming you can print other things in there. And she said, no, you can just print fruit.
Only fruit.
And I said, well, like what kind of fruit? She said, well, like right now we're printing a raspberry. I said, well, I said a raspberry. And Dennis was with me. He said, is it edible? And she said, oh, absolutely. I said, well, what kind of ink do you use to print a raspberry? And she said, you don't use ink, you print with juice.
Oh,
So
this sounds so bizarre.
Yeah, there's a little 1-minute video that's on their website. So I'm going to ask Josh to show that. Also, what I love, just before the video runs, it says, I'm looking for it here. Oh, it says it allows for the creation of interesting bespoke fruits in a matter of seconds. Okay.
Wow.
Printing fruit in a matter of seconds. Now let's run the video. Okay. It's from Dovetail, the 3D fruit printer, making a raspberry. Okay. And it starts out with making a raspberry in normal time. There we go.
Oh, what?
Yes.
So it's
using juice.
Juice.
Right. And now the
Seconds.
video is running at 3 times
Seconds.
speed.
Remember.
Right. But remember, when this is done, we're going to have a single raspberry. I mean, like you could spend the entire day to make a bushel of raspberries and then squeeze them and get juice. I mean, here we go. The finished product.
That seems very delicate.
We couldn't taste them. They were. There you go. There you go. Now, who's second? Who wants their raspberry next?
Okay, it'll be available tomorrow.
Anyway,
Wow.
It's very strange. So, I asked, what is the market for this? And they said...
Super expensive restaurants.
Exactly. Foodies, chefs, and very cheesy restaurants. Where it'll say on the top of the menu, if you want dessert, order it before dinner.
Wow, yeah.
So that we can make it. They didn't even have a price yet. But it just seems...
Wow. I mean, one, that's an interesting technology that they've got to turn juice into something solid inside of some sort of amalgamation liquid that it flows into, that it drops into to create globules. Interesting.
It is interesting. It is. They said, we have reinvented the concept of fresh fruit on demand.
I don't think there was a concept of fresh. I mean, unless if you went out to go pick it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think Fresh Direct here in the city is most people's concept of fresh fruit on demand.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. And I don't have room on my small kitchen counter for a toaster, so I don't think I'm going to have. But this seems to be fairly far away. Because it's not like a Kickstarter project. There's no pre-order.
Right. They were showing, I mean, would you claim this was more of a proof of concept?
A proof of concept? Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But again, I'm doing this because the Engadget Expand was fun in as much as there were some things you really have not seen before.
Yeah, I definitely have not seen 3D printed fruit. I can imagine a really, really bespoke. I mean, restaurateurs are the shocking, the what's next, the big. This is bigger than any other restaurant. You're gonna get this thing that doesn't exist anywhere else. You're looking for that sort of experience to food. I could see how someone says, we have 3D printed our own fruit to go onto our desserts that are in the shape of dragons. You're not gonna find that anywhere else,
That's true. Well, you can in the Brick House kitchen, but nowhere else outside of that.
Exactly. Or, we could just cut fruit up and make it look that way, but this is new. This is a 3D printed fruit.
Yes, I know.
Different. Not natural. It's great.
No, yes, exactly. Not natural.
Not natural.
And it took an hour and a half to make it, but nobody else has it.
This machine cost us $40,000. No other restaurant around. I'm telling you.
And 89 cents for a quart of juice.
Yeah. Wow. That's a pretty interesting concept.
It's interesting. It is interesting.
So, yeah, I think that's exactly what they were going for too. If I was to guess,
I think so.
Perfect.
The second gadget, way more mainstream, and then I'm going to do a third gadget that I had never heard about, but you sort of joshing earlier said the words, so you may know more about it than I do. But first, let's do the more middle of the road gadget. And this is it on video.
DeBartolo, man's destroyer to end the Giz Wiz. We're still here at Engadget Expand. Well, we have yet another solution for headphones, which is one of the worst. You put them in your pocket, you take them out. Houdini couldn't get out of that tangle. So we're talking to James here. And what is this product?
So we're from Mous, and this is Mous Musicase, so it's our first ever product. And we're launching on Kickstarter. We've just launched to friends and family. We're just about to really do an official launch in the States in about 5 minutes. Okay. So, so basically it's a phone case that holds your headphones. This is our iPhone 5 case. We're doing it for all the iPhones. And so you just basically put it out like so. And then, yeah, you don't have to worry about losing your headphones, which is the number one problem.
In this end, you pull out slightly, and it reaches the headphone jack.
Exactly like so. So what we found is we wanted to solve tangled headphones, but we actually found out we kind of solved losing your headphones as well. So, yeah, there you go.
And the price point's going to be?
Price point, because it's on Kickstarter, we're doing it, unfortunately, we have to do it in pounds, we have to, because that's what they make us do, but it's going to be about £17, which is about $24.
And you do all different color cases?
Loads of different colors, you can mix and match the colors, all that kind of thing.
That is pretty neat. And the headphones don't come with it. I don't have an iPhone. So those are the standard iPhone headphones?
Yeah, these are Apple headphones. We found out that the majority of iPhone users use these headphones, yeah.
Excellent. That sounds like a perfect solution to me at a decent price. Did you get a picture of the different color combinations over there? And it's Musicase?
So it's a Mous, M-O-U-S, no E. Mous Musicase, and on Twitter it's at Mous Case, so M-O-U-S Case.
M-O-U-S, no E, Case. Dick DeBartolo, man's better, try to end the Giz Wiz One Take Theater here on Twit. Let's go find some more stuff.
Interesting. And
So I thought that was kind of interesting.
yeah, they have their Kickstarter video out now. So you can see. It does
You know what? I could only find it also in pounds. I don't know what the deal is. Go ahead.
I think that if you're from the UK and you start up a Kickstarter,
It must be.
have to show.
That's what he was saying. It has to be. But anyway, if it ends up just at $24, I think that's kind of not a bad price.
Yeah, it's
because you're getting a phone case and you're getting one with some utility in it.
I could also see someone who really, really uses their headphones a lot, like they have to get on the bus a ton, or they're in a work environment where removing your headphones and putting them into, putting them away or whatever is a daily chore. That this is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
You're going to want your headphones always next to your phone.
Yeah. Chad, you're actually on their website live now, right?
Correct.
So they're looking for £10,000.
Mm-hmm. And they're at 8,200.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that isn't bad. And they have 17 days to go.
Okay.
Not bad at all. I can't tell if they chose Mouse as the name or not. Because
You know what? It's very strange. It's Mouse. Mouse is the name of the company, and then they're calling it Mouse Case, but the actual device is Musicase.
Mous Musicase.
Yeah,
and there's not two C's. It's Musicase.
Yes, exactly, and there's no E in mouse.
You're right. I'd say they're more dyslexic than I am.
Yeah.
I thought they were calling it Mouse because if you look at this design, it's two.
Well, it does look like a mouse. It does. Yes, absolutely. It does. Well, the two earbuds are back there, and it does look like a mouse. But
maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know.
I mean, this I think has a possibility of making it.
I think so too, and I think that the people who see this, and there's going to be a group of people that see this and are going to just be super excited about it. They're like, that is the thing I've been looking for. All these things that keep my headphones either away from my phone, or if they do, it's like this extra weird step. This is a way to always keep my headphones attached to my phone and easily wrap it up super quickly. I think that there's going to be a group of people that's going to see this and immediately want it.
Exactly.
So yeah, interesting. Very, very cool product to find.
All right. Now the third one, you seem to know what sous-vide cooking is.
Sous-vide cooking. Do you want me to explain it, or should we show off?
Well, I went up to the woman and she had this thing looked like a little hand mixer, and it was sitting on the side of a pot, and there was water swirling around, and she had a steak in a bag. And I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "We're cooking a steak." I said,
in a bag?
In a bag in hot water? So go ahead. And the funny thing is, I'm saying to Dennis, I'm going to do this on the Giz Wiz, but probably no one's going to know what I'm talking about. I opened today's New York Times. On the front page of the business section is a big article about how these devices, sous-vide cooking devices, used to cost $1,500 or thousands, and now through modern technology are brought down to a price for the home cook. But you explain how you cook with one of these devices. Have you cooked with one?
I haven't. I haven't even tasted sous vide cooking.
Oh, okay.
But
Nor have I.
I have heard a lot about it, and I've been interested in it. Basically, the idea is that you use a device to regulate water temperature. So you're gonna take a big old pot of water, and you're gonna put the sous vide cooker into it. And normally the sous vide cooker has a heating element and some sort of fan to kind of move the water around. And then you take your meat that you want to cook, and you put it in the water. And it's more of a slow cook where it hits a perfect temperature because of the device. Yes, you dial the temperature.
You dial the temperature right on the top.
Right. You dial the temperature in with the device, and then the device makes sure it is the perfect temperature to super slow cook your meat. And then also, it is concealed inside that bag, so no juices get spilled. You're not boiling water away, so it's a really, really juicy and tender meat once it's finished. The other cool thing about sous vide that I've been looking at is that there's a way, the newer ones, there's a way that once it's finished, it'll just kind of keep it in this sort of ready state of, it's done, but now you could just get to it and open it up at any point. There's no like, oh, you have to get to it right now. Like it's finished and now it's dinner time. It could sit there for another, 30 minutes to an hour while everyone's getting ready. Normally it's a long process, so you could basically put it in like at lunchtime or in the morning.
Yes, she said it could be minutes for some, hours for some, overnight for some. I mean, I did sous vide cooking in my early days, and then someone pointed out it was really boil and bag. So it was not exactly the same.
Right.
And in the article, it points out what this woman pointed out. I'm looking for her name here. Was that a lot of people were saying that you should get one of those professional sealers to seal the bag. Lisa Fetterman is the CEO and co-founder. And she said, no, you can put it in any kind of like Ziploc baggie. And as you lower it in the water, make sure all the air leaves the bag and then zip it all the way closed. She said the White House uses one of their units. Their company is Nomiku, and theirs sells for $359, but it's on pre-order for $299, and shipping is in 6 to 8 weeks. But then I was on their website today, and they had a "Would you like to chat with us?" window came up. And I asked the guy, I said, I noticed there's a Wi-Fi model coming. And I said, why is the Wi-Fi model going to be newer and have Wi-Fi? And I see it's still $299. And it turns out that the experience they've gotten from the first one, which is the one they're selling now, they found production shortcuts and ways to do it more efficiently. And so the Wi-Fi model, you'll be able to add new recipes, and I assume at some point, give your recipes to other people over Wi-Fi. So if you like slow cooking and you don't mind waiting till spring, you'll be able to get the Wi-Fi Nomiku.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi model Nomiku in the spring.
I think either is great.
Man, that is a slow cooker if you've got to wait till spring.
Yeah, well, it was a big steak. It was really too thick, I told you.
It's going to be a great feast, though, near the end.
Right. And then, so if you're putting the turkey in now, it'll be ready for Thanksgiving 2015.
It'll be perfect. It'll be the best turkey you've ever had.
In your entire life.
Vintage. 2014 is supposed to be a great year for turkey.
Exactly.
I've been really interested in sous vide. I forget it does eggs.
There's a little video there too.
Here we are. Here's the connected Wi-Fi version.
People together. And we believe you're a great cook. You just need the right tools. Every cook relies on the power of heat to transform their food, but it doesn't always cooperate. We created Nomiku because we wanted everyone to create restaurant-quality food in their own kitchen.
What Nomiku's done is made sous vide accessible for the masses. It's allowed people to not be afraid of the technology and really
I think you need one for the brick house kitchen.
Keep our sauces at the right temperature, and the temperature is really important for us so that the sauces aren't too thick or too thin.
What I love about cooking things in sous vide is the precision and the ease. The fact that I can just walk away and I know it's going to be okay and I can recreate the same results.
That you can just stick in water and then turn and you're done. So I like the simplicity of it.
It's kind of the wonderful modern slow cooker of our time, or it can be an effective fast cooker. It just aids you to get dinner on the table.
When you have the food in the bag, it can retain all the flavors, and I love about that because all the flavors are combined in one area. So this is the way of the future.
Meet the new Nomiku. Nomiku is now Wi-Fi connected and dramatically redesigned to be smaller, simpler, and more powerful. The new Nomiku now clips on the front of a pot for easier access. And we have a bigger screen to display recipes. Setting up the Nomiku is easy. Clip the Nomiku onto a pot that you already own. To turn it on, tap the screen, and then turn the knob to control the temperature. Because of you, we were able to ship our first Kickstarter and introduce people to sous vide at home. We also got a lot of questions, like, how do I know I'm doing this right? What time and temperature should I be using? How do I incorporate this method into my favorite recipes? We answered a lot of emails and phone calls, but that's not enough.
Well, that's okay. I think you get the idea. Actually, judging by what you just said, I would definitely wait for the next model.
Yeah, I know.
Bigger screen.
Clipping onto the front of the pot is really big, because what are that thing steaming and you're reaching over a pot? It's like, why didn't they think of that before?
More powerful.
Yeah.
Definitely wait for version 2, because it's the same price.
Absolutely. In fact, well, on the pre-order, if I hit on their website, order now, it was actually cheaper. It was the one out now was $2.99, and the one I could add.
Oh my word!
Isn't that interesting? Well, let me make sure. U.S. and Canada, yeah, it's $100 cheaper.
Wow.
So
I guess wow.
I don't know if
that's
they
the way to
changed
go.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah. Actually, that's what got me starting to click on the chat window, is because I was saying, is the Wi-Fi an addition? You're adding an addition to the other one? He said, no, it's a totally different unit. And you're right, I forgot. He did say that in the marketplace, it's going to be $2.99, the same as the current one. But he did say something about if you order really early, there was a deal. And that's like a third off.
That's a lot off. That's an absolute ton off.
But you have to wait till spring.
I also love the name Nomiku.
Nomiku.
Because noms, like if you're eating noms or you're nomming on something, it's like a new way of saying that you're really enjoying to eat.
Nami, nami, nami.
Nom, 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 nom. So love that name. Interesting. I think sous vide is something, it's something that I feel like I could get behind, because I never, ever really think of food, like if I could start something and then walk away and let it do its thing, you still have to babysit the oven, you have to babysit everything else. That would be really, really, really nice. So, now, coming up, we still have my crappy corner, we have the warehouse, I have 2 gadgets in my crappy corner. We're sticking with a 2-gadget theme. For me. We just can't fit them in enough. And we have the letter. But first, we have to thank our sponsor for this episode, Audible.com. If you haven't heard of Audible, shame on you, because they are the best, the leading provider of audiobooks for you to enjoy. Their Audible.com has the biggest selection of audiobooks, and using the service is an absolute dream. I use Audible basically daily to enjoy audiobooks. Other than podcasting, it is the entertainment that I absolutely love because you can learn so much from reading books. You know it, you probably feel like you don't have the time, but with audiobooks, you always have the time. You have time while you're driving around town, while you're doing your chores, or while, you know, your parents are trying to talk to you. Just throw in some audiobooks and just don't even listen to them. It's absolutely great. Right now, I'm listening to The Innovator's Dilemma, which is when new technologies cause great firms to fail. It's sort of a business-style book, but I kept hearing about it as the thing that I need to listen to. It's basically quoted all the time. That abridged version right there is what I'm listening to. It's really short, actually, but it's basically the thing that everyone's always saying to me, oh yeah, well, that's the innovator's dilemma. I was just like, what are you talking about? It was always brought up in conversation. It's like, oh yeah, well, this is why they're floundering. It's because it's the innovator's dilemma. So I've really been enjoying that book. One nice thing that is new to the Audible app is they have a brand new notification pull down. So inside of iOS, they have how many minutes I've listened today. I've already listened to 51 minutes today. They can also do it by week, so I've listened to an hour and 40 minutes, and then total with Audible, just on this phone, and this phone is fairly new, I've already listened to 23 hours and 53 minutes. I've almost gotten a full day's worth of listening, and that's without eating or sleeping or anything like that. And you can also get cool little badges as well. And it's in my quick folder is audible.com. whenever I want to listen to my audiobooks. I highly, highly, highly recommend Audible. They are by far the best service for audiobooks, and I want you to try them. Just try it out. If you have never tried listening to an audiobook, you absolutely need to. So here at the Giz Wiz, we are giving you a free book, a free credit to spend at audible.com by going to audible.com/GizWiz. That way you can claim your free audiobook, test it out, see if this service is what you want, because I know that you are going to fall in love with listening to audiobooks whenever you have free time. That's audible.com/GizWiz. Once again, audible.com/GizWiz. And we thank Audible for their support of the Giz Wiz. Thank you, Audible. So now.
And now it's time for the amazing
Crappy Corner, Dickie D and Chad are here. It's time for Chad's Crappy Corner.
Woohoo! Christmas
We have to
themed.
thank Jim Seuss, S-U-S-S, for
that is amazing,
several
Jim.
variations on the Chad's Crappy Corner theme.
That is amazing. I love Jim. Thank you so much for those. That was so. If you couldn't guess by the theme, this is the stocking stuffer month. So we're showing off small gadgets that you could give as presents to your loved ones. Which ones do you want me to start off with first, Jeff? This? Yeah, I was like, no, I didn't think so. So this first one, this is something that, you know, a lot of people have. Well, first, this is a Leo's laptop, and he has crazy stickers on the top. But those stickers aren't what we're looking at. We are looking at inside here. Dun da da da. Isn't that interesting? So these are comic book keyboard stickers that you can add to your laptop. I thought this was just kind of a fun way to personalize a laptop. They do have each of these either have something that kind of looks like the letter, or it just gives you a version of the letter on the keyboard.
You have to be a pretty good touch typist, right?
Oh, see, so we got I for Iron Man, P for the Punisher, J for the Joker, where I can't look at the monitor and look at the keyboard at the same time. The question, you know, the Riddler. You have the Green Lantern. You have the numbers of all 8 of the, I don't know what that one is actually. You know, you have, I was gonna say, the play pause guy. You know,
oh, right, okay.
It's all the characters that you've fallen in love with over the years. But anyway, I think it's pretty neat. They do, I don't know, it feels okay. It's also how much love you put into putting the stickers onto the keyboard is kind of how well they are going to be. Some of these, I can tell either he didn't put them on quite straight or they're a little bit overhung on them, but not a big deal. It's $12 we found on Amazon with $5 shipping. So $17 for basically all of it.
Chad, do you know if it would be easy to take them off again?
Let's try one. He's not going to use the bracket one all that often, right?
Okay.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so...
He says he's pulled them off before. I also just cut my fingernails. So
well, okay, well, I think they take that into consideration that it's not a quickie on-off situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They work for Apple keyboards pretty perfectly because they have the Apple keys. This one is specifically for the MacBook because all of these keys down here are specifically sized. Same thing with the arrow keys. This is basically just for a MacBook keyboard. But maybe this is inspiration for you to go find some key stickers for other keyboards as well. So that's our first gadget.
Okay.
It looks like Josh is showing off a few different variations. Here's the wireless keyboard from Apple. This is video game things instead of...
Oh, I see. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So you have
Are they all Apple-based?
Yes, they are.
Everything is Apple-based.
The ones that we found. I bet that there are others out there. Maybe? No? We're getting maybe some... Maybe not. Here, I'll put that over there. The ones that we found, it kind of makes sense that it's all Apple because that's one manufacturer that makes one very specific keyboard.
Yes.
There's so many different other versions of keyboards. This is from Killer Duck Decals. So if you want to find more, all the different versions, you can go to Killer Duck Decals for that. Now I can see here they have the superhero, the video game, the assortment, Little Monsters, Object Alphabet, and a few more. They have some for like their trackpads and stuff like that as well. So Killer Duck Decals. But that isn't the only thing I have. I've been showing off multiple gadgets in this month. And this next gadget comes from Jeff. Jeff actually has this at his house, and he showed it to me multiple times. It's called Dock Plus. And this was a Kickstarter at first. Basically, it's the best iPhone, iPad dock for a lightning cable connector you've ever seen. First, this thing is heavy. It is really heavy. Like, it's too heavy. It's not going to move anywhere. On top of that, at the bottom, it'll take off, and you can see that there's little tracks inside of here. And each of these tracks are sized differently. So it's a little bit difficult to see, but maybe you can, that there's basically different heights to each of these tracks. And so you can put this certified lightning cable connector on, let's say, this track and see how it's flush with the rest of the silicon. That's one way, or you can put it in this one, which puts it way, way lower than the other one. That way, if you have something like a case on your iPhone or iPad, that it accommodates whichever type of case you're using. Then you just drop the weight on it. It's not going to move anywhere. And this is my iPad mini, so I can drop the iPad mini onto it, and it works just fine. Same thing with my iPhone 6 Plus, and that does have a case on it. I think that is the perfect thing as well. And because of that weight, I can just pull it right off. there's no messing around with a lightning cable whenever I need to grab it off. And it is nice that this is a certified lightning connector as well. Now, this thing, not cheap. How much would you guess this costs, Sticky D? Dock Plus.
$50.
It includes a lightning cable, which Jeff is reminding me is $20 worth of cable. So how much would you pay now?
$70.
Okay. What if I
$70.
said higher? Do I hear 75, 75, 75, 78, 75, 75? 75. Go 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. $80. Do I hear 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90? Anyone else? Anyone else? Sold for $90. This thing cost $90.
Oh, whoa.
$90 for the Dock Plus. I don't know if I would ever buy it. It is definitely a very nice cable or thing.
Right.
It was $50 on Kickstarter. Jeff is defending himself, okay? He only spent $50 for it. Basically, the big sell here is that it'll fit any iPhone with any type of case on it, and it's heavily weighted, and you can rip your phone off it without messing with, putting your hand onto the dock to make sure that when you lift it out.
But it only comes with a lightning cable, right?
Only comes with a lightning cable. This is iOS only. Yes.
Right. Okay. So if you have a 30-pin, there's no.
You're out of luck.
Yeah. Okay. It's just for the new.
Yep.
The newer. Okay. Newer. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And that is the Dock Plus. So if you, and hey, if you put this in your stocking, it's gonna feel like you gave them a lot, like a ton. Okay. How heavy is it? It feels like it's 2 pounds. Oh, it is 2 pounds. It's 2 pounds worth of.
It's sold out though.
Sold out.
You can't even get it.
Wow. Well, you can see that there is a market for people who want to buy $90 iPhone dock connectors. And that wraps it up for my crappy corner for today. So let's move on to Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
They're geeky and they're goofy, together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
And our Gadget Warehouse viewer video came with this email from 1982 through
wow, that's an old email, man. Sorry.
Now, from 1982 through 1990, I owned a computer store in Youngstown, Ohio. We sold a lot of machines of the time, the K-Pro, Franklin, and our own PC clones. Our most popular item was the Androbot robot line, which included the talking robot named Topo. This is a news clip from our local TV station, which came to interview me because everybody was looking for a way to use a computer to pick the winning lottery numbers. So it's kind of interesting, and you'll actually see Mark Mazaris. You'll see Mark on this video back from, I believe, 1982 or so.
It's the biggest lottery jackpot in the history of North America. Some fortune hunters have consulted soothsayers, while others have turned to a robot to pick the right combination.
Oh my
Even
God.
robots like Topo have their own ideas about winning the $25 million prize. The Androbot picks 6 numbers at random after running 2 million possibilities through its memory. If Topo wins, he'll take a trip to California's Silicon Valley.
I like the numbers 3 and 7 and 14 and 21 and 29 and 34. I think I will play these.
What do you do with the money if you win?
I would move to Silicon Valley, where I was born. I would make more memory graphics and main latest driver too.
The wizard behind Topo is Mark Maceros, the owner of Computer Showcase in Niles. Maceros had so many requests from lottery players looking for a new system that he programmed Topo, a $1,600 robot, for the task. Tomorrow night we'll see how well Topo did.
Then meet man with 33 eyewitness news.
Wow.
Did you get the price? $1,600 for that robot at the time. Which is probably what, $3,500 nowadays?
Yeah.
And the voice and the movement, and Mark said in his email that was one of their biggest sellers.
Wow. It's like, gosh, that's almost the price of a Fruit 3D printer.
And the Dock Plus.
And the Dock Plus combined.
Yeah.
Man, that's insane. I do that robot though. I don't know. I guess I've seen him other places because that's a pretty iconic personal robot.
Several people in the chat room as it was playing was saying, "I remember that robot."
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if they remembered that he was $1,600 way back when.
No, I didn't. I did not. Wow. That is fun warehouse. Thank you, Mark.
It's great. Mark, you will get a Mad Magazine and an Alfred E. Newman photo. And we need more videos. We have one left. So a video with your favorite gadget, pretty much anything, like Mark found this video clip of the robot. Anything interesting, put it on video, post it on YouTube. Send the link to Giz Wiz at twit.tv. So it can be my favorite gadget of all time. I bought a piece of crap. I love this. This is my kids. Whatever you want. Okay. And 2 to 3 minutes, 3 minutes tops. And just send the link to Giz Wiz at twit.tv. And hopefully you'll see it on the show. And do it soon, because like I said, there's one video left.
And we got a lot of pre-records coming up, baby.
Yeah, we do. We do have a lot of, we're doing like...
Best ofs, too.
We're doing like a show every night of the week for the next 3 weeks.
Right. It's going to be great.
Get those videos in.
All of 2015 is already pre-recorded.
That's right. Although there will be no show next week.
There will be no show next week. That is true. And I'll repeat that at the end of the show.
Okay, good.
Because of Thanksgiving, the whole studio is shut down. But before, let's get to the letter.
Here come the letters. The letters. Here come the Giz Wiz letters now.
There's that reprise. Woo!
I said the Giz Wiz letters now. Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Our letter says, "Hi, Dick and Chad. Last night, while watching Giz Wiz episode 1494, I plugged my iPhone 5S into my MacBook Pro to sync and charge it. When you were finishing the discussion about the Bloom Sky weather station, one of you said something like the phone said something that the phone thought was, 'Hey, Siri.'
Of course.
Siri started to record everything you said in order to understand some kind of request or command. Although my phone's language is U.S. English, it may have been temporarily occupied by one of the authors of those instruction manuals written in China. Because I can't make head or tail out of it, I include a screenshot of Siri's transcript. Maybe you guys can compare it to the transcript. And what Siri thought we said was, see whether or not normally have a turbine baby is the weather in there's a person who thinks away. I think word for word, that pretty much was it.
I think if you take the transcript of the show and Siri's recollection of what we said, they were right. Both Actually,
I think her interpretation was a little better than than ours.
I think it fixed some grammar on our part.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And spelling.
Yes, and spelling.
We should have Sari look at all our scripts, I guess.
We should. I think that's technology's advanced so far.
Yeah.
It's really.
Have you guys ever looked at the transcripts from Google Voice, the voicemails that people leave on Google Voice, and it tries to transcribe them? Those are hilarious.
It thinks my name is always Dad. Hey, Dad.
Oh, Dad.
Blah,
oh,
blah,
that's
blah,
very
blah,
funny.
blah.
That's
Instead of
very
Hey,
funny.
Chad.
Before I forget, I just want to credit Ken Berger from Philly, PA, for that. Yeah. No, that's very funny. Well, it's impossible also to write the word twit without spell
Twitter.
check. Yes, exactly.
You'll even I use voice dictation all the time because I just, typing for me is just a hassle. So I'll even I'll know. So I'll say, I'm headed to the Twit Studios and Twitter every single time. Every single time.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good find. Thanks for sending that in, Ken. And Jeff did a clap for you because he's also from Philadelphia.
Okay, brotherly love.
Yep. And with that, you should play What the Heck Is It at gizwiz.biz. Head on over to the sidebar, scroll on down. Guess what the heck this thing is? This is the whole gadget, not part of it. This was sold to someone, we think. So we want your guess as to what it is. There are 12 Mad magazines signed, autographed by Dickie D for correct answers, and 24 for cute, silly, or funny answers. So get in your questions. We have a ton of announcements here, so strap your seatbelts in. I don't know. Next week is Thanksgiving, so we will be dark. That show, we'll just skip a show because the whole studio will be shut down, and we don't even want to. We want people to go enjoy Thanksgiving. We don't want to hire an editor to come and publish a pre-recorded show. Then also, we would love your favorite gadgets throughout the year. So please submit, or least favorite. We're thinking about doing both, our favorites and our least favorite, the things we could just rant about. So you can help us out by going to twit.tv/bestof and just giving us your best guess. If you know the episode number, if you know the name of the gadget, or maybe even the
You can even use the Squarespace search at gizwiz.biz, which is pretty robust, so that might help.
Perfect. That'll help out a lot.
And we're taping that show like in just 2 weeks, I believe.
Right. So
do it now.
Do it soon, if you would. Also, don't forget about those videos. We need those videos as well.
Yeah.
Should I try to go down when we're pre-recording everything? No, we'll do that later. There's a funny schedule coming up next. And other than that, teespring.com/twit, we are selling a shirt which should be available for your holidays, so that you could give that to a loved one. There's a few different styles if you want. So we have that cool polo, and then we also have a classic Oxford shirt. We have that in white and blue, and I believe that we have the polo in just black, right? Just black for the polo. There are lady versions as well as men versions. We're basically, this would be a whole department store with Twit merchandise, so you can check that out at teespring.com/twit. Is there anything else?
The next regularly recorded episode will be on Wednesday, December...
The next regularly recorded... Nothing. We've fallen apart, folks. That about wraps it up.
2 weeks from tonight, I think.
Yes! Okay, the show is ending. The whole studio is falling apart. See you next week.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving!
Weekly